This is 51-year-old Evans Paul. On February 11th, 2025, Palm Beach County sheriffs responded to a call from St. Luke's Catholic Church in reference to fraudulent activity involving the church's scholarship fund. The investigation finds that Mr. Paul is accused of forging the check and depositing it into his personal bank account for the amount of $10,000. Watch as detectives conduct their investigation and let us know what you think in the comments below.
All right, Mr. Robert, can you please tell me what's your role? And
my role at the time of the event is I was, when our council listed as one of the trustees and also the head of the Cardinal Newman Scholarship Education Fund, the fundraiser group in our council.
And can you please tell me how you know Evans Paul?
From church, and as well as he's been a member of our council for several years. And in years past, I was the Grand Knight of the council as well. And he had been an officer in past years. I don't remember which role, whether it was chancellor or something along those lines, but he did have a role at one point in time.
And how long have you known him?
Probably, I'd say at least more than 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just either from church just seeing him in church over the years. It's probably more than that.
And after he was appointed, what happened? What occurred for you? What discrepancy that you noticed at?
In our getting ready for the school year, in our August meeting, everything's fine. We had stuff. We were trying to get the money to the kids who won the scholarship. We want to get that set up. In the September meeting, which was September 9th, I believe. Yeah, I think it was September 9th. During the meeting, we had the passing out of the treasurer's report and the report of the scholarship fund. And I noticed that there was $20,000 gone.
Uh-huh.
And so I, whoa, what's going on here, guys? Uh-huh. And the money, and previous to that, I had requested the two $2,500 checks. So when the September meeting came and what happened here? Where's this money? And checks were given to Evans, and it was given to Cardinal Newman.
Okay.
And so in the meeting, he said that he had already given the checks to Cardinal Newman.
And when you say he, who's that?
Evans Paul. He said he gave the checks to Cardinal Newman.
Okay.
As the meeting went on, other things, questioning some things, and then I said, well, I know that people at Cardinal Newman, treasurer, I will go and ask them to refund us back the other money. And I was talking to Evans at the end of the meeting about this. I'll just go, and he said, no, don't go to Cardinal Newman. Don't go to Cardinal Newman. Which I kind of thought was funny, but I said, well, I'll check with them. And he kept insisting I not go to Cardinal Newman. And then as the people were ready to leave, because I still had the checks. And it's like, what? You still have the checks? And then several other people in the room said, we had this whole big blow up in the room about the money, and now you tell everybody you have the checks? So everybody kind of got, whoa. So during that, after the meeting, I sent him a text and basically just to confirm, you do have the checks for the Cardinal Newman Scholarship. And his reply was, yes, thanks. I said, okay, thank you. So talking to Mark and Ed during the week, trying to track things down and what was going on about getting it. And I hadn't gotten any response. So I had sent Evan some texts and
sure.
And
go right ahead.
so on Thursday, September 12th, I sent him a text, said, good morning, I need to get those two checks from you. I didn't get a response. I had a finance meeting at St. Luke's. I sat on the head of that finance committee, and I saw Evans in the parking lot. So I pulled over and said he was there to pick up his wife, and it was raining. And I asked him, I said, I need to find out about getting the checks. And then he didn't say anything. He drove off. So, and he said, I said to him, I'm not sure what you mean by you will find out about getting me the checks. So it's this process. We were checking on things, and then I talked to Mark. Ed Manning, he was supposed to get with Ed, and Ed happened to tell Mark that one of the checks had already cleared the bank. And when Mark told me that, I said, so I went online and checked and found the check, it cleared the bank, and then whoa, Evan's name was written above Cardinal Newman.
So what check was that? How much
It was one of the scholarship checks.
Okay.
And
How much?
it was for $10,000.
$10,000. Okay.
So, and on the Friday the 13th, I had texted him, and I said I spoke with the finance department at Cardinal Newman. Need to get those checks from you today to get this situation resolved. I said, what time do you want to meet at St. Luke's? And his response was, good morning, brother. Listen, you don't need to give $2,500 for each. Nicholas family wants to save theirs for next year, and other to pay $5,000. If you want to fix it, just get $2,500 for Megan. That's all you need. You don't need those checks. Those two checks are not in question anymore. I have already voided them, right? And I said, thanks for responding. I don't understand your reluctance in getting the checks to me. That's fine if you voided the checks. However, Ed is the one who should be voiding the checks. In order to get the new ones issued, I will need to get Ed those checks. He will need to keep them for bookkeeping purposes. The only other option is to put a stop payment on those checks, and I would like to avoid the costs to the council. In regards to the Ramos family, I was already aware of the situation. What time today can we meet at St. Luke's to get the check? And I happened to see him outside St. Luke's that afternoon and asked him about the checks, and I was told I don't want to give them to you. I would give them to Ed. And at that point in time, we were school scouts. I found the voided checks. I went online, got the voided checks. We talked to Mark. We said so I called Father Andrew, set a meeting up with him, and the three of us talked and said we need to, report this. This is, these things have been altered. The check was altered, and then the money hadn't gone. So we set a meeting. We went to the Palm Springs Police Department on that Saturday afternoon. Went to the Palm Springs Police Department, made the report. I've got the report number we did there. They reported it at that time.
I'm going to present a check to you here. I want you to take a good look at it and let me know if anything seems out of the ordinary. Okay.
The main things that's definitely out of the ordinary is above on the page to the order of line was written Cardinal Newman High School. Above that's written the name Evans Paul, and it's endorsed on the back of the check. And I'm not sure if the line through Edward's name is from the machine or not, but Evans' name is above that, and his name be written above on our council. Any checks are supposed to be written. Are supposed to be signed by the treasurer and the Grand Knight. I don't know if Evan's name was on the account at that time, and not to put have his name on the signature line, but to definitely have his name above Cardinal Newman is incorrect.
Okay.
And is endorsed on the back to him.
Okay. Okay. Are you familiar with Evans Paul's wife?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What's your position in the church?
I think in the church itself. I believe she's a Eucharistic minister, which means she helps pass out communion at communion time. She does also work at the school.
Okay.
She does work at the school.
Okay. And now her work is compensated?
I think her work in the school is compensated. Anything to do with the church is not.
Anything to do with the church is not. Okay. Do you know if she's involved possibly of what's going on with Evans Paul? Or?
I have no idea.
Okay. Has Evans Paul ever come up to you by chance and ever told you anything of distress, as in financial troubles or anything?
To me personally, no.
Okay. And from your own personal belief or record, why would Evans Paul do anything like this?
I have no idea. Okay. I was totally shocked about this, and when I pulled up that check, and I was like, I think I texted Mark when I called him, like, you're not going to believe this. Here I'm thinking the whole time I'm going to go to Newman and try to get the money back, and there's 10 grand's already gone, and we have someone else's names on the check. So it kind of was shocking.
Okay. And is there anything else that you would like to tell me that I haven't asked you, or anything that you'd like to say for the record?
When I started this whole program for the scholarship money, I felt we were doing something really good for kids and trying to help the kids. And, for me personally, it's got a point where I just felt like, how can we do something so good that people are making it, you feel so bad to do? it turns something like it's almost like you don't even want to do it. And I try. I sit there and pray to we got to move forward and get this thing put to rest. And it's just made a really good situation feel bad. And I just sit there and I pray about it. Like, look, we need to keep doing this and moving on, and not let something negative turn into bad. And we've done I think a really good job of trying to contain this and not let it get out. So everybody, because when tell this person, next thing, we tried to, keep it a really close knit. At least I know Mark and I we haven't really talked about to anybody about it, but hopefully, other people just tried to keep it a small number of people that understood this thing.
The investigation begins with Robert, trustee of the council and head of the Cardinal Newman Scholarship Education Fund. Known to Paul for over 5 years, his testimony establishes the organizational structure that becomes central to the legal analysis. At the September 9th meeting, the treasurer's report reveals $20,000 missing from the scholarship fund. Paul initially claims the 2 checks were already delivered to Cardinal Newman. That claim fractures immediately. He still has them. Robert secures a written admission by text. Paul replies, "Yes, thanks." Documented evidence of possession. Days later, Robert texts Paul requesting the checks. No response. He encounters Paul in the parking lot. Paul drives away. Robert then learns from the treasurer. One of the $10,000 checks has already cleared a bank. Not Cardinal Newman's account, someone else's. The cleared check tells a precise story. Cardinal Newman High School is printed on the payee line. Above it, in a different hand, Evans Paul. On the reverse, endorsed by Evans Paul, deposited via drive-through into a personal account. Under Florida Statute Section 831.01, falsely altering a check with intent to defraud is forgery, a third-degree felony. Presenting that instrument at a bank adds a second charge under Section 831.02, uttering a forged instrument. Paul claims to have voided the checks and tells Robert the matter is resolved. Robert disagrees. Voided checks must go through the treasurer. Paul refuses to hand them over, insisting he will return them only to the person who issued them. Robert consults Father Andrew, then files a report with police. The case transfers to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. At the Sheriff's Office, Paul waives his Miranda rights and agrees to speak. He is the Grand Knight, a volunteer presiding officer appointed in July 2024, attending St. Luke's since 1999.
Please state your full name again.
Evans Paul.
Okay. Evans Paul, I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, okay? With you understanding your rights, are you willing to speak with me?
Sure.
Okay. So, Mr. Paul, okay, so this is obviously has to do reference of
Knight of Columbus.
Knight of Columbus, okay.
Yeah.
So you're right, okay. What is your role in the Knight of Columbus? Like, what are you appointed?
I mean, when that happened, I was a Grand Knight.
You're a Grand Knight, okay.
Yeah.
You're appointed a Grand Knight, okay.
Yes.
All right. Have you ever had a job in the church that you've ever been compensated for?
No.
No?
No.
It's been all volunteer?
I have been volunteer over there, yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been at the church, attending the church for?
It's been like since 1999.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. That's right, around 25, 26 years.
Okay. And during the time around July of last year when you became the Grand Knight, there's an incident that occurred, okay? Reference, I guess they had a meeting.
Yes.
And there was a discrepancy.
Yes.
Reference funds. Yeah, can you explain like what that discrepancy?
Yes. So what happened is this was like after when you get night, the treasurer, everybody, when there is something, they need to talk to you.
Okay.
So usually I used to pick up my wife.
Okay.
Because she always done at 6 o'clock after care.
Okay.
So when I went there to pick up my wife, and then I went to sit. There is a blue tent by the family life, so I went to sit there. And then there's like some Haitian on Friday. We have Haitian prayer, so they know me. I've been just been sitting there talking to them. And then Ed, he's the treasurer. Ed came. He was like, "Hey, Evans, I really want to talk to you. They tell me you're here." I was like, "Okay, what happened? What's going on?" He was like, "There's something I really want to talk to you about because now you're Grand Knight." I said, "What happened?" He was like, "Listen, we've been collecting money as a donation for scholarship. It's been 3 years. Like, they make a picture with the people for the donation, but they never give the money." I mean, soon he told me that. That's like, click on my mind. If you're getting people donation for something, you should give that money out. Especially you stand up in the church. You make a picture with those people, everybody sees like they're going to have a scholarship.
Yeah,
and then they never receive the money. I was like, okay, just tell me what happened. And then when he tells me, they never give the money for 3 years. It's been past 3 years. So as I'm getting nice, so he needs my help. I was like, what kind of help you need? He was like, we need to give the scholarship. I was like, do you have anybody? And then he bring me like a bulletin with the person name and everything. I was like, okay, those 2 girls, I know them, so I can talk to them. I was like, as the paper said, they have a scholarship for 4 years. So that's been $2,500 each year. So there's gonna be $10,000 by person is going to be to do with 20,000. So I tell him, so this is what we're gonna do because my kids is over there to at that school, Caledonia, man.
Okay.
So what we do, we pay the tuition online, like in the website called Fax. I tell him like, this is what we're going to do. I can just get the money and then I put the money in my account. I can go to Fax, just contact those parents, get the information, and then make the payment online. He was like, if it's as soon as you can do it, help me out, that will be fine. I said, okay. So he went to his car, he went home. He wrote the check, but he wrote the check back home. But I think he's gonna come with the check. I can tell him like, just put my name on it because I already tell him I will just deposit the check. That way I can make the payment online. So what he said was like, okay, so now you get 9. You don't have time. I never have time. So he said, you don't have time to go to the bank with me to put your name in the account. So you will get 9 anyway. So just sign on the top. He gave me the pen. He was like, sign on the top of my signing, put your name, that's not going to be a problem. So I take the check, I hold the checks for 2 weeks because I need to find out, like, with the parents first,
Okay.
so how much money, because you don't get only one scholarship. The school give you scholarship and everything. Okay. So I just want to see how much the difference, if it's higher than $2,500 a year or if it's less.
Okay.
But myself, if it's less, I will give them the rest of the money because $2,500 is belong to them every year, right?
Okay.
So, okay. So after talk to the parents, one parent tell me, Evans, I don't have no balance because we have a Spanish scholarship I got. So can I use that money next year? I said, yes, next year you can have 5,000 next year. But there is one of them, when I do event, like selling tickets and everything, she always help me out, selling tickets for me and everything at the church, right? So I really need to give her that money. And then she hold the school, $2,300 some dollars.
Okay.
So and then we have a scholarship for $2,500 for her. You know, her name is Kelly. So I always promise her, so we're gonna get the money, So after that, I went to my bank. It was 2 checks, $20,000
Yes.
to do.
Okay.
I deposit 1 check for 10,000. So I tell her like, this is a scholarship checks from Net of Columbus. So I'm going to give to Cardinal Women. So the check deposit. So they said the check's going, I think like the first date was September 5th, something like that. The check's going to be. But the girls keep asking me, Evans, when you gonna pay and everything. We always text. I said, the check is not clear yet. I'm waiting for the check to be clear. That way I can pay it for you. Right?
Yeah.
So after that, we're gonna have a meeting. So I'm the one that hosts the meeting and everything. If I have to ask questions, I can. So by the time in the meeting, you need to give report, right? The treasurer didn't show up. The guy that I'm dealing with in that problem, he didn't show up, but he said, Evans, I will send the report, the people what happened, and then you will talk about it. I said, okay. So when the report come up, I read the report, there's like $20,000 check.
Yeah.
But the money is not out yet from the account. But we see there's $20,000 check out for the scholarship, all right? And then there's a guy named Wabbit Mariscale. He just stood up, says like, oh no, there's no money, we cannot give any scholarship without me and this and that. That pissed me off because I knew things he didn't know. Because I was like, listen, dude, it's been like 3 years. You keep making picture with people. You said you're going to give scholarship, you never give it. So now I'm the get 9. So I'm responsible to give those people the scholarship. Because I know you want to use the money for your own gain. Because lately he came with few other guys from north that moving down here. They talking about they put that money in like what we call a market. You know, they're gonna use it for like market, so to make benefits out of it. So which is I said, no, you can't do that because the money is donation, it's free for the scholarship. So now you guys wanna use the money just in the market. Alright? So I always against that. And then after that, I was like, after the meeting done, we always eat after the meeting. My wife always like give me food for everybody to eat. Just I call him, I said like, listen,
Who'd you call? Who'd you call?
Wabbit.
Right, okay.
Yeah, he was the one that we discussed. I was like, listen, that's the way I am.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want you to think like I have a personal problem with you. So I'm sorry if I say something that offend you. So I'm sorry about it. And then we start talking and everything. But by tomorrow, I receive a text from him. I need the checks.
Yes.
I didn't even answer. Believe me, I didn't answer.
Yeah, I saw the text messages.
Yeah, because I didn't I didn't take any checks from you. So why you ask me for a checks? So at 3 o'clock, at around 5 something, I went to pick up my wife. He knew I would be there, so he was waiting in the parking lot. He came next to my car. He says like, Evans, can you give me the checks? I would tell him like, listen, dude, I don't have any checks for you. Did I get any checks from you? No. If I have to give checks, I will give it to the person that give it to me. All right? So, okay. And then, like I told you, I already tell the bank, so, the scholarship will cancel. I don't want to get involved anymore. So, can you send the money back to TD Bank? That way, I don't have anything to see with that. So, the bank tried to tell me, so the TD Bank need to request the money. So, what I did, I called Ed, he's the treasurer. I tell Ed, like, can you meet with me at Wawa? So, we meet at Wawa in Belvedere, because I'm living in Wawa, Palm Beach. So I was with my daughter, and then we went there, we talked about it and everything, and then he was like, okay, it looked like they called me Evans, but I don't call them back because I didn't know what they're talking about. I was like, yeah, they want you to go to TD Bank, request the money back, and then we're done with it. So it's been like time passed because I never talk to nobody. I don't even feel to go to the meeting anymore. But I call my assistant, it's Sally Sullivan, it's my assistant. I called him, I explained to him the situation, what happened and everything. So I was like, I don't tell anybody. So if anyone come to tell you whatever, you will know or tell you, right? And then after that, so one Sunday I went to church, and then Father and Jew, so we have a good relationship. He was like, Evans, I'm the one that doing our share at the church at 9 o'clock mass. He was like, Evans, I want to talk to you after mass done. I was like, here, Father, in your office. He was like, no, just right here, Walter. And then when I done, I said, Father, I'm finished. So we went to the back room on the left side. He was like, listen, they tell me something about the check and this and that. But when they tell me that, they said they already make a police report. But we have what we call a district deputy. And then they already tell the district deputy about it. They asked me to actually to step down. So I was like, that's all you want to say? He says, yes, I'm finished. I said, okay. I didn't say nothing else. I said, okay. But since he says that, the reason why I pissed off, because all of them, they're always happy to see me, talk to me and everything. So if something happened like this, so you guys already make a police report, so no one call me, talk to me about it. No one wants to know what I think. So why? Because black people always like, they steal it, So I didn't say anything at all. I just forget it. Okay. So now what I did, I was waiting. But now I have to deal with the bank and the treasurer. So I called the treasurer. I said, listen, did you make the request for the money? He said, yes, Evans, I did. I was like, okay, let me find out with the bank. When I called the bank said, Evans, the other bank made the request for the money, but there is something called investigation. They're making me out with the check, so we cannot release the money until the investigation done. I was like, that's all I want to know. So I'm waiting for an investigation to be done. Like I tell you guys, just send that money back. I wanna be finished with everything. That's it.
How long ago was that?
It was it was back when. It can be back in around November or December. I don't really remember the date.
But is that normal practice though? Is that normal practice?
Oh yeah, of course.
No, for somebody to take the Knight of Columbus check and put it in their own bank account?
If it's not,
is that normal? Do all the Grand Knights do that?
Listen, let me tell you what happened. When you just get Knight, nobody tells you anything. Okay. You need to listen to the treasurer only, because the treasurer taking care of the money. Okay. He's the one that is responsible. Soon you get Knight, he's the one that's go to the bank with you, add your name in the bank account. So he was the one that, like I tell you, giving the check, says, Evan, you can sign it. You can sign right here because you're getting Knight right now. So like you said, you need 10,000 to pick the scholarship. So yes, this is the way it is.
Or if Ed said that's not true, he told you to not put your name like that on the check.
Who, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ed can say whatever he wants. Because like I tell you, yes, Ed was the one that gave me the pen, says sign right here.
And said you could put it in your own.
That's correct, just to do the payment online. Because I already clear with him. That's how we make payment.
What payment online?
It was the scholarship payment for the parents.
But why would it come from your bank account? That's why I'm kind of confused. It doesn't.
Because like to make the payment online, you need to pay the money is supposed to come from my account because I'm the one that making the payment.
But after you deposited a check, why did you not tell anybody that you put it in your account and then you'd be paying for it through online?
Like anybody, like who?
I know you're the Grand Knight, but you got to tell, because you have meetings every quarter, every month, don't you know they will see that money missing? Like, how come you didn't let the people know before?
I just, no. Like I tell you, whoever knows, Ed was the only one that know.
Okay.
Because when we did the meeting, the first meeting we did after the check, I mean, the check wasn't deposited yet. You remember I tell you that? I said, like, we did the meeting, and then we'll talk about the check, the report. There's a 2 check that's right for $20,000 scholarship. And then that's how we're going to have the problem. Because he doesn't want $20,000 get out at once,
yes.
But he wants to give $2,500 a year.
Yeah.
So that the most money that's supposed to get out is like $5,000.
Yeah.
So, right? So that's it.
But why would you do, if you know that that's going to be a problem, why would you do $20,000?
I didn't know if it was going to be a problem. I didn't know that.
You just said that they want to be $20,000.
Exactly. They want that after, like before.
Yeah.
The check was right before the meeting.
But it's always been like that, though. I was talking to the other Grand Knights in the past, including Mark. And he said that it's always been $2,500 increments ever since they started and he created it. Because it was both Mark and Robert that created this scholarship. So basically, you decided upon yourself that you're going to take that money, deposit it, and then pay them regardless.
No, he was going to, I mean, this is the reason why I deposited only 1 check. Because the other girl, for this year, she didn't have any balance. It's only one girl that have balance $2,300.
Okay.
So basically, I mean, after I paid that $2,300, whatever that's left over to make it like $2,500. But I was not gonna do that. I was gonna give the total, pay the balance and then give it the total for $10,000 for the 4 years.
Okay,
but which is the one that.
But then you attempted to submit another check for $10,000, right?
Submit what?
You tried to get another check for $10,000, right?
No. Those 2 checks was at the same time. The same time, the same minutes.
Okay, which is $20,000.
Exactly.
I know, but why would you do another $10,000 check?
Because it's for 2 people.
Okay. Pick up the paper. And show me.
Evans phone.
Okay. And then you wrote up top.
Yeah.
Do you normally do that?
Yeah.
Do you normally do that?
Who?
You can do that. I said, is that normal for you?
No. When I did that, like when I was with Ed, I tell you, when I wasn't with Ed, I did that.
When you wasn't with Ed?
When I was with Ed,
Okay.
at St. Luke, when he gave me the check.
Okay.
Yes.
And Ed told you to do that.
Ed was the one that gave me the pen. Says Evans, sign on the top of my name, and then you can deposit it. Yes, it was Ed that gave me the pen.
Unfortunately, listen, the biggest problem that we have here is the check, period.
Yes.
Okay? The check of $10,000, okay? Unfortunately, we can't go by hearsay, okay? We don't have no proof that Ed or this person or any person told you to put their name across and deposit it in your bank account, okay? From what I see now is, listen, everybody has issues, especially the economy. A lot of things are crazy expensive, this and that, whatever. Even myself, the same things I bought at Costco used to be $400, now I'm paying $800, Everybody's going through a headache. Everybody's going through something, all right? But, again, I'm trying to help you out the best I can, okay? I need you to be honest with me, because at the end of the day, what you did is illegal.
Okay.
You cannot forge a check.
Okay.
Okay. You can't put your name across from anything, and you can't deposit it in your account. Period.
Yeah.
Because it didn't happen like that before. It wasn't like that.
It's really stupid. I mean, it's the problem is I am the one that's stupid. I should not accept him tell me to put my name. I can do that. Yeah. But if he said no, that is set up. But he knew that's going to be happen because you said he said no.
Again, I cannot take your word versus his word or hearsay, but all I know is all I have is the evidence.
Yeah.
It's your signature, which you just said.
Yes.
You notice a check.
Yeah.
You are obviously going inside, talking to Taylor and depositing it. Okay.
Yes. No, it was in the drive-through.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay. Doing a drive-through, depositing it, and it going to your account. Okay. And unfortunately, your account was already negative. Okay. Why was as soon as you dropped it, there was $73 missing. And that's why it went down to $9,926.03. Okay?
Yeah.
So it doesn't look good when I could pull your account and I could see all these overdraft and negative. Like I said, it's hard or whatever. So it looks like you had the intent to possibly do this to maybe help yourself and your family because obviously you got kids, you got whatever, and then you're going to pay the money back or quickly do what you had to do, that's a different case if you had the permission to do that.
Okay.
As of right now, the people that I spoke to, the people I interviewed, the people that sworn and said that's a practice that's never been done, and nobody gave the permission to do that. So that's the issue that we have here. Okay? Now, I'm trying to help you to help me out, and you need to tell me the truth, why you did what you did, so I could then maybe tell a judge later or so-and-so, whatever, to be like, hey, listen, Evans Paul was honest, he's not a bad guy, we're not looking for him to go to jail or do this and do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, let me tell you. Like I tell you, I didn't do that because I need the money.
Okay.
I already tell you the truth.
Okay.
I did that just to help Kelly to pay the scholarship. I didn't do it because I need the money to use for myself.
Okay.
No, that wasn't my scholarship. That was me. Promise her, like I see they give you the scholarship, so you helping out selling the ticket and everything. So I will do the best I can just to pay the balance for you. Yes, this is the reason why, like I tell you, we take 2 times 10,000 for 4 years for those 2 parents. That's it. No, but if I need like to steal the money, I will deposit both checks. I had both checks in my head. So why you don't have the copy in the other one? They tell you it was like $20,000. No,
I have. What happened was the other one wasn't deposited like this one.
Oh, okay. Yes.
This one basically got cleared. That's why they were able to take the $73 from the first.
No,
two.
it wasn't clear anyway.
I get it, but what I'm just saying is it went to your account.
Exactly.
Okay, so if it went to your account, that means it was clear to your account. You may have not.
Oh yes, I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when it was found, Robert told me that he had access to that check because it was made for the night in Columbus. He's the one that stopped it, and that's why you have a problem of it retrieving back right now because it's referenced this investigation. So Robert was the one that initially stopped the check.
That's not true. Yes.
That's what I.
Yeah,
okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
Yes.
He says, and then obviously it did not help when he's trying to talk to you, and then you're ignoring him.
No,
about the check.
No.
The text message, and then he went to go meet you at obviously at the church when you picked up your wife.
Yes.
And he just sped off on him and whatnot.
No, I didn't sped off on him. I just put my window down. I said I get the checks from you. So if I have to return the checks, I will return it to the person that give it to me. That's what I said.
So you're saying you have no
intention to steal the money for myself. No,
that's
why they want.
And you have no you have no problems with your money as of right now.
No, as of right now, by the time I'm talking to you right now, nah.
Like it's parable to Cardinal Newman, right?
Of course.
Signed by Ed to Treasurer, right?
No.
But why would it?
Listen, the account itself, that's the name of the account.
Yes.
Itself.
Yes.
Yes, that's the name of the account.
I understand that.
Yes.
Wouldn't that make sense to go to that fund and then later be paid out of there?
Of course.
For tax purposes.
Of
or
course.
any type of purposes.
Yes, of
or
course.
receipt purposes, right?
Yes,
Since
of
it's
course.
a non-for-profit.
But to pay it online too, you will have all those things. You will have your receipt and everything.
Okay.
Because legally,
but you could do it from that account. It doesn't have to go from your personal account.
I mean, at that time, I didn't think about it because me, when I'm making a payment for myself, my kids is in school over there. That's what I did. I just go online, made it. This is the reason I contact the parents to get the account information. Just do it online. That's what at that time. That's all I was thinking at that time.
Okay, which was not very smart. Do we both agree with that?
Yes, but with the technology, nobody drives to go anywhere. You just sit home, put your cell phone, you go online, you do whatever you have to. That's what I was thinking at that time. But like you said, was it smart?
No, it wasn't. What you're not agreeing with me with, and we're not going to go around in circles, all right, is the fund is made for that $2,500.
Yes.
It's never taken in a lump sum of 10. All right, just hear me out. It's never taken in a lump sum of 10, okay? The reason for it is because the $10,000 is the maximum they can get, right?
Yeah, for 4 years.
Yes, okay, I understand that, for 4 years. All right, so the reason for that is, just like you said, if they left school or if their grades are not kept up or any of that issue, then you're not out of all that money. It's already taken out and they can stay in the account and maybe gross more money or whatever percent, whatever is left in the account to continue growing or yielding or whatever, what have you.
Yes.
Okay. You took upon yourself, all right, as the Grand Knight to take that check and deposit it.
Yes.
Okay? Yes, all right? We could agree on that, okay? Then you proceeded, whether you, like you said, which was stupid or not stupid, or Ed said you could do this or not, wrote your name up top of Cardinal Newman, and then scratched out Ed's name and wrote your name, and then deposited the check.
No. I didn't scratch.
Okay,
I don't know.
you put a line
if the
out.
copy. No. If you see that line, that wasn't me. No, probably I don't know if the copy. No, I didn't put
Okay,
it
but
right.
you wrote your name above his signature.
That's correct. Yes.
Paul confirms on camera he wrote his name above the payee line, but denies crossing out Cardinal Newman's name. The detective is direct. Ed has denied giving any such instruction. No written record exists. No organizational protocol permits redirecting fund checks to a personal account. Without corroboration, Paul's word alone cannot establish authorization. At the time of deposit, Paul's account was already negative. $73 were absorbed by the overdraft immediately upon deposit. The detective then isolates a logical gap. If the goal was to pay Cardinal Newman's tuition portal, the council treasury could have done so directly, no personal account required. Paul concedes the approach was, in his own words, not very smart. Paul is formally advised of 2 felony charges: grand theft of $10,000 under Section 812.014 and uttering a forged instrument under Section 831.02, each carrying up to 5 years in state prison. Paul maintains he acted to help the students, not for personal gain, and points to the second undeposited check as evidence of limited intent.
Yes.
Okay, and then you deposited the check.
Yes.
What I'm telling you is that doesn't make sense because it's not supposed to be like that. You took that upon yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Your initiative to do that.
My responsibility. Yes.
Okay. So right now, unfortunately, I do believe that you did have maybe malice intent of basically stealing all that money, but what you did is wrong. Period.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You cannot write your name over a check and you cannot sign your name.
Okay.
All right. So as of right now, what you're looking at as being charged is grand theft
Okay.
of $10,000 and uttering a forged instrument, which is a check. Okay. Those are 2 felonies. Okay. I try to help you out. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you did anything wrong or anything like that, but you're not helping yourself. If you told me you had financial problems, this is why you did this, you weren't thinking, and then you're later paid back this and that, whatever. But I can't force you to say anything.
Listen, I could only look at what I have, which is the proof here of all your statements, and looking at all the overdraft fees and all the unpaid balances and certain things that you have here, your suspended license, and that's all I could go by, which is the actual evidence. I will never tell you yes.
That's fine.
That's what I have on my intention, just to steal the money. No, that wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mr. Paul's wife, who is waiting outside, is informed of her husband's arrest.
He's not a volunteer position. He was a grant night.
A grant night, yeah, but
Grant night.
grant night doesn't get paid
Grant
though.
night.
It's not a
Doesn't
pay.
grant pay. They give the money. Like he don't spend those like a scholarship to give to the school to the kids.
Oui.
Was at St. Luke. They going to Newman.
Oui, yeah.
They won't give him the check. His name is on it too. He asked my husband for help. Like they always give the scholarship. They never give it to the kids. And then now has a grant night. Now I need your help. Eventually he tell my husband to sign his name in the top. Okay, my husband just
The one
who
Ed.
Ed.
Okay, but Munio Pachi says.
Ed. That hurt my feeling.
I hear you, but
As you serving God,
no, of course.
you don't put people in trouble for that. You don't deserve to get arrested for that. And I'm going to file the angel to the police.
You guys speak so,
Yeah, I'm going to the police. I've been at St. Luke since 26 years.
Yeah, and you teach him so, yeah.
My son, I get married there. We helping. I used to be altar server coordinator. I'm working at this school.
Yeah. It's embarrassing. No,
It's embarrassing. Yeah. He don't deserve that. He's helping. I'm going to ask the parents. I tell you that. I'm going to ask the parents to involve in that. He have all the texts in. All the texts. He's going to pay the scholarship for the kids. I'm struggling. I don't use people. We don't steal.
Yeah,
we don't steal. I know you're doing your job.
The life is hard.
The life is hard.
Yeah.
If I explain to you my life, I stand aftercare. We don't steal.
I hear you. Listen, like you said, I'm just doing my job.
You're doing your job. That you're doing your job. Well, when my husband tell me that, I say if I can't sue him, I will sue him.
My friend,
I will sue him. He just working 7 to 7. He don't even get home. When he tell me that, I don't even eat my lunch. I come home with my food.
I understand.
He don't deserve to get arrested.
I appreciate it, man. You good?
That's why they
Why
did
you
too.
crying?
No, I'm crying because you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. That's why they did to you. Tomorrow I'm going to talk to Father Andrew.
You don't need to
I'm
talk to
going
nobody.
there.
Don't talk to
I'm
nobody.
going there.
No, you don't need to talk to nobody.
I'm going there.
So listen.
Where is going now?
Huh?
Where is going now?
He's gonna go to the gun club. Okay, I just wanted you to say hi, bye, and then his cell phone, and so.
You already told them I'm going to meet with the police, so tell them things are
Gosh,
going
my
to.
energy and how I want to
Yeah.
hospital.
Tell them everything will be okay. Tell nobody, don't cry, okay?
You can sit. I'm not.
Okay.
I still gotta finish with something real quick. Okay. All right.
I love you.
Give me a second. You tell me, don't say anything.
No, don't say anything.
No, I have to go to see Father Andrew.
No, you don't need to say anything.
Whatever you.
He's in charge. He's the priest in charge there.
Sabe de Deus se livre des hommes, galera. Mas para isso que João cá ele, okay? Avec l'église là. All right. But I'm just doing my job.
I know you're doing your job. He don't deserve that. Ed need to come too. Ed.
All right. That's fine.
All right, go ahead. Good night. I'm sorry.
And you know what? I'm gonna call Megan's mom too. I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah, Megan's mom, you can tell her.
I'm gonna tell
Because
them.
that's what I tell him. I tell him I do that for Megan's mom. Yeah, tell her like I get arrested because they said I steal the
I
money.
have my kids at human too.
Yes, I know.
I
He
don't
took
even
mommy.
finish.
He took him to Baghdad.
I
Yeah.
don't even. I show beaucoup même si payer l'école petite. Si m'dapon là, j'aime payer l'école petite.
Oui, d'accord. I'm gonna come on.
As Paul is taken into custody, his wife Violet, a Eucharistic minister and school employee, states that Ed instructed her husband to sign. She insists Paul was helping, not stealing. Whatever a court concludes, the arrest marks the end of 25 years of community service and the beginning of a legal proceeding that will determine what actually happened. Robert receives an A-. He verified the facts, secured a written admission, consulted leadership, and filed a police report the same day. His interview is measured, confined to direct observation, with no embellishment. The deduction. The September meeting became a public confrontation before the full picture was clear, giving Paul early notice that scrutiny was coming. The detective receives a B+. Miranda was administered cleanly. He arrived with evidence in hand, allowed Paul to commit to a full account before confronting contradictions, and secured the key admission on record. The deduction. He did not press adequately on the authorization claim, no follow-up on corroborating details, and Ed's denial was never presented directly to Paul during questioning. Evans Paul receives a D. On camera, after waiving Miranda, he confirms every element the prosecution needs. He altered the check, deposited it without organizational authorization, ignored demands to return it, and evaded the fund administrator. His authorization defense has no corroboration, no written record, no witness, no procedure that supports this routing. The undeposited second check is his strongest point and will be argued at trial. But the legal standard does not grade on good intentions. The documentation required to support his defense did not exist before the deposit, and it does not exist now. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our second channel, Audit the Court, for more police interaction and courtroom content.